Amen. Good morning, everyone. It's time to get started. If you're able to, go ahead and stand. Turn your hymn books to hymn number 91. We'll sing "What a Day That Will Be." Yes. Hymn number 91. There is coming a day when the heartache shall come. No more clouds in the sky, no more tears to dim the eye. All is peace forevermore on the happy golden shore. What a day, glorious day that will be. What a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see, and I look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace. When he takes me by the hand and leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. There'll be no sorrow there, no more burdens to bear, no more sickness, no pain, no more parting over there. And forever I will be with the one who died for me. What a day, glorious day that will be. What a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see, and I look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace. When he takes me by the hand and leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. Everybody turn around and shake your neighbor's hand. Let them know you're glad to see them this morning. Amen. That was some good singing. Why don't we turn our hymn books over to 246 and just remain standing, and we'll sing Higher Ground. We'll sing the first, second, and the last stanza. Hymn number 246. I'm pressing on the upward way, new heights I'm gaining every day. Still praying as I'm onward bound, Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand, faith on heaven's tableland, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. My heart has no desire to stay where doubts arise and fears dismay. Though some may dwell where these abound, my prayer, my aim is higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand, by faith on heaven's tableland, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. I want to scale the height and catch a gleam of glory bright. But still I pray till heaven I found. Lord, lead me on to higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven's table land, the higher plane that I have found. Lord, let my feet on higher ground.
All right, you can be seated this morning. We welcome you to the Sunday School Hour, and we're looking forward to what the Lord has for us today. And of course, tonight, I believe we have a few visitors here this morning. We're delighted that you're here. We're doing things a little different today. We have, I know all of our adult classes, I believe, are in here. I'm not sure they're all in yet. But normally we have different classes for different ages. And so, but this morning we combined them all because of our stewardship conference. We do this a few times in the year. We bring all of our adult classes in. So all of them can hear the speaker instead of him, for instance, just speaking in my class. A lot of other classes would like to hear the guest speaker as well. So when we have a special meeting, that's one reason we do that. And so we're glad that you're here. We're looking forward to the conference. I thought last night was tremendous. It really was. I want to use the word, it was a lot of fun. And I don't know if that's the right word, but it was a lot of fun. And a lot of you worked really hard. And I'm not bitter. But I still think our class should have won 3 times in a row. And but I knew they weren't going to give it to us. If we'd have flew people from Africa to be here, they would not have picked us. I knew that going into it, but I still thought our class did a tremendous job, and all of the classes did a great job. And really, really appreciate you participating and getting involved. And thank you so much for doing that. If you were not here last night, or you have not received our 2 stewardship cards, and I didn't do this last night, and boy, Brother House, did I mess up last night. If you are a visitor, we'll give you the cards. I mean, we don't mind, but this is primarily for our members. But anybody that wants the cards, you're welcome to have them. But this is for our stewardship. So if you have not received them yet, would you raise your hand? Keep your hand up. And I know some of you were not here last night, so it would have been impossible for you to have the cards. And you're not raising your hand. I'm not going to call you out, but I'm pointing your direction, okay? All right, anybody else? Okay, there we go now. Okay, some of you, man, I'd have to come give it to you personally, wouldn't I? You don't have to do anything with it. You can take it and make an airplane out of it, but at least maybe you could get it and at least look at it and maybe pray about something. And so I'm going to go over those with you. And appreciate you praying for Miss Bird. I don't know if the word is a miracle, but she was just in ICU, very critical, and was unresponsive totally. And man, she woke up and knew her family and just doing good, and they got her in a regular room now. So don't get too excited about that. That's a blessing, amen? And I appreciate that. And then Mrs. Hickman is doing a lot better. She's still in ICU. Talked to Brother Hickman. He said he'd be here tonight to drive the widow's van. He will be here to drive that. But she's doing a lot better, and she should get in the room maybe today or tomorrow. Feels like they're on the other side of it. It was just a really, really bad, they used the word septic kidney, and it's just really, really dangerous. But they put a stent in there and drained it, and she's doing really, really good. And so appreciate you praying for her. And then pray for the Page family. I think some of you know that Brother Marcus' grandmother passed away. So I know they would appreciate. He texted me. I think it was 3:45 this morning or something like that. It was early. I know that. And so pray for them. And I know they would really, really appreciate that. Anybody know what tonight is? 2 of you know what tonight is. That's good. We got preacher's class at 4:30, choir practice at 4:30. And then we have prayer at 5:30 for the men and ladies. If you've never been to one of the prayer times, I encourage you to come. You don't have to pray, but if you'd just like to come and just be a part of it, we'd encourage you to do that. Wednesday nights is hard for a lot of people because of work, and I understand it. But Sunday should be able to time where everybody could do that and come just that 30 minutes early and come into the prayer room and pray for the service tonight. And we're looking forward to that, okay? All right. If you have the cards, why don't you get those ready? Let me just go over them really, really quick. And get your one first that has the ministry and service. It says commitment card. And if you look underneath there, it's kind of small, but it will say ministry and service. Do you have that? Raise that up. Do you have that? Are you looking at that? Look at that with me really quickly. It says, understanding that God has given all things to me, I have a desire to use my time and talents in God's work by God's grace. I commit that this year I will do my best. That's all that we could ask. The Lord would ask for our best, to be consistent Christian, to read my Bible daily, and be faithful to my church. So I'm uncomfortable with committing that. Then don't mark none of it. Nobody's going to come take an ink pen out of your hand and make you mark it, okay? And but don't plan for failure, right? So I don't believe in making commitments. It's good that you paid cash for your house. That was pretty good. And for everything you bought your whole life, you've never made a commitment. You always paid cash for everything. You know, there are a few people that's done that, but most people had to make a commitment. Are y'all with me? It only works when we come to church. You know, it only works when we come to church. But anyway, I do not currently serve in, but would like to have an opportunity to serve. And we have a lot of our ministries. I just don't have time to go over all the ministries, but don't want you to mark anything this morning, okay? We want you to look at this, husband and wives, pray about it. And if you're not presently involved in any ministry, and maybe you could look at this and think, you know, I believe I could do this. I believe I could get involved here. And so that's what that's for. One of the new ministries we just started that is not listed is the military ministry. They'll be here at 4:30. We have 47 or 48 that should be here tonight. And we feed them. Now listen carefully. Some of us are distracted. Listen carefully. Here's an opportunity that a lot of people could get involved in, is helping the food. It takes a lot of food to feed 48 people or 50 young men and women. And you could help in that capacity. There's something for everybody to do. Not everybody's going to sing a special. I don't know if we'd want some people to sing a special. You would not want me to sing a special. I can almost promise you. Not everybody will teach a Sunday school class. My mother's been here for 34 years. She's never taught a Sunday school class, okay? Not everybody's going to do that. But I believe there's something that everybody can do. A lot of ladies can cook. I said a lot. I didn't say all, okay? Most ladies can cook, okay? I'm talking about the new generation. We don't know, about them, but the older generation can cook. But you would like to help with that. That would be something you could do. So a lot of, cleaning, just a lot of different ministries. Some of them you may not even know what the ministry does or what it even is. And you could come to me and say, preacher, what is the tent ministry? What do they do? And we do about 3 or 4 a year. And I will explain it to you, okay? A lot of the truckers ministry. What is that? Traffic ministry. That's when you stand out in front of Canal Road and you stop the traffic, okay? And we're really not doing that right now. The police department, the sheriff's department made us stop that. And we'd have to hire them to do it. But anyway, we did that to get people out when church was over. A lot of Masters Club, tremendous ministry, jail ministry, the nursing home, groundskeeper, helping in the yard, food service. When people die, and ladies, Miss Rebecca McFadden oversees that, and she calls and says, could you help with a meal for this family? Because you have a lot of family members sometimes that comes in when somebody dies. And the person that's grieving doesn't feel like cooking, and that's not really, and they got all these relatives coming in. For somebody to bring a meal is a real blessing. We've had that when my dad died. I remember the church responded and bringing food. It was such a blessing to my family, and I never forget that. And so there's just so many ministries that you can get involved in. And if it's not listed, you can write it in. Okay, you may want to start one. And you may have an idea. One that's not on here that we're going to be doing a food pantry. And it's just about getting kicked off. And so you could help with that. Just so many ministries. So if you'll pray about that. Then the other side, really quick, you write your name on this one. If you're already involved, I'm currently serving and would like to continue to serve. We got the Beams Ministry. I'm involved in that. And I check these. This is the ministries I'm involved in. A greeter, I do that. Home of Grace, I do that. The jail ministry, the mission club, the nursing home, the soul winning, Sunday school, tent ministry, visitation, widows ministry. So, and then I wrote down pastor. I like to continue to pastor at least for another year. And so I wrote my name there. Pastor, I like to continue pastoring the church, okay? So if you'll fill that out, not this morning, if you'll look at that, if you're already involved, if you would just mark those, okay? Now the other side, really, really quick, taking too much time. The commitment card has to do with your tithes and offerings, if you'll look at that. And the first is your tithes. That is commanded, something you don't pray about that. But the others is you pray about it. The building payment, that goes toward the new building if you give toward that. And then you have the mission program. We support, Brother Nottingham in here. It's not in here. How many do we support? 53 missionaries. And the Beans missionaries, I think we support all of them. Is it $200 a month? The Beans? $200 a month for them. So that's 6 times 12. That's $1,200 right there a month. And then all of the others. And so if you're not involved in giving the mission, my first mission commitment 34 years ago was $5. That's what I committed, $5. And so, you know, I would encourage, especially a new convert that's not really familiar with none of this, give $1. You start with something. Just participating in missions, okay? And so pray that you'll pray about that. Then the upstairs is on the back. We challenged us last year to try to 100 people to give $2,500. That would have been the 25. We needed $250,000 to finish it. And we didn't get that. We got a little over $50,000 though. We was able to do the carpet upstairs, and now we have $40,000 there. And so I pray that you'll pray about giving toward finishing the upstairs. We'd like to get that completed. It would be such a blessing for our adult classes. If you're a member of my class, do you remember when we was in the modulars? Any of y'all remember that? Remember when it would rain? Some of the ladies take their shoes off. You remember what that was like? Now we fixed it. You don't have to really do that now. But it's still when it's raining. We'd like to get all 3 of our adult classes upstairs in the new building. The man could drive under the awning, let his wife off. She could go in. And that would be such a blessing. And then we'd like to use it for our school. Our school, we had to you just don't realize taking up, taking down. Because a lot of rooms we have, we use it for school and Sunday school. And so that would really help our Christian school as well, our Sunday school. And then our military ministry, it would help that. In the fellowship hall, we had to set up for that. So it would be such a blessing if we could get that completed. So I hope that you'll just pray about that and commit that to the Lord, okay? Hope I was clear about all that. If I wasn't, I apologize. If you have any questions about any of it, you can see me, of course, and I'll try to answer your questions. Ushers, why don't you go ahead and come forward? Appreciate it.